Things I like. Number 1, Tien is a villain. In DBZ, Tien is a nice, likable guy, and a guy who's more than willing to take one for the team, and will do anything to save the day. And I mean anything. This guy has a death wish the size of the Grand Canyon, to the point that he's basically suicidal. And with his 3 eyes, he looks cool too. Unfortunately, he means well, but he's just not strong enough to be effective. Little did we know that Tien wasn't always a hero. He started out as not just a villain, but a fantastic villain. In fact, he's a much better villain than hero. He is so much different as a villain. While Vegeta and Piccolo turned good but always maintained an edge, it was like Tien completely changed personalities. As a villain, he is arrogant, he's a trash talker, while as a hero in DBZ, he had trouble even cracking a joke, and was always the modest, strong, silent type. And not just that, but he is incredibly brutal, which is proved by his fantastic fight with Yamcha. Number 2, fantastic fights. In the last tournament, we had 2 great fights, but in this saga, we have no subpar fights, and have 3 or 4 really awesome fights. Heck, even Krillin's fight with Chaozu was pretty good, if not kinda stupid. Number 3, neat ending to the final fight. The last fight is a classic, with each fighter throwing everything in the kitchen sink at each other. It appears that each fighter is essentially even, yet Tien wins the fight not by skill, but by luck, not letting us know who was truly stronger. It provided a friendly rivalry between the two that lasted until DBZ. And finally, the first redemptive hero. Unless you count Yamcha, who you really shouldn't since he was more of a lovable rogue than a villain, and he was too pathetic to really count anyway. Tien was the first villain to turn over a new leaf and become a good guy. It would be a trademark of the show and would be repeated over and over again. But this was the very first time it happened, and it set a fine precedent, as the former villains would become some of the coolest characters in the show. Things I don't like. Chaozu. I don't want to be mean, but Chaozu has got to be the most worthless character in the entire show. He does have some cool techniques, but he's so pathetic as a fighter that he, to my knowledge, has only won 1 fight in the entire franchise, and he never won once in Dragon Ball. Though his fight with Krillin was cool, he was proved to be too dumb at best and flat retarded at worst, with an even worse mastery of math than I had in school, and he has no real personality. I always wondered what Tien saw in this little pest. He should have disappeared after this saga. In DBZ, he's so pathetic that after the first saga, Tien won't even let him show up to fights. One of the worst characters in the show. Number 2, Jackie Chun says goodbye. In one of the saga's many great fights, Jackie Chun fights a strong battle with Tien, where he spends most of the time trying to turn him to the good side. Finally, Chun gives up, deciding that he wasn't needed anymore, figuring fighting is a young man's game and he's got too old for it, and that Tien would be a better rival for Goku anyway, from now on. Roshi then takes off his fake hair, and we never see Jackie again. And finally, unbelievable redemption. You know I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel with this one, but I had to have something, so here it is. Tien is shown for most of the saga to be a truly bad guy, one who has been rumored to have killed people in the past, and probably a character who was truly evil in a traditional sense. So what major event causes him to be a hero? Well, it's just listening to Jackie Chun's rants. That's it. He hears some talking and changes his nature overnight. I'm glad it happened, of course, but honestly, isn't that a little too easy? Finally, overall rating, A+. This is a classic. Not just the first truly great saga of the show and the franchise, but my personal favorite of the original Dragon Ball. Here we have great fights, great new characters, and a villain turning into a good guy. Actually, 2 villains if you count Chaozu, which maybe you shouldn't. Anyway, this was a fantastic saga, and it really showed that the series had potential to be something truly special. You might think it didn't get any better than this, but you would be wrong. See you later when we see King Piccolo. Okay, here's the thing. Do you like horror movies, cute dog videos, music including rock, rap, and classical, baseball, Star Wars, or DBZ? Well, come here to the Hillbilly Review channel, the only place you can find all that crap under one channel. Like and subscribe. I'm not too brag to beg. And if you only like one of those topics, go to one of my detailed playlists to find the topic you want. Let's get with it.